What is up, Thrive fam? CJ Finley here, back with another Thrive on Life podcast episode. And today is going to be a short solo episode on a topic that I love to speak about: price versus cost. And if you've listened to my content at all, you know I've talked about this before. And it all stems from, I believe, too many people are thinking in the short term rather than a long term. And I want to change that. So we're going to get right into it. It's going to be a pretty quick episode, 5 to 10 minutes. And I'd love if you could share this with other people and try to change their attitude on how they view life. So to break it down, I am recording this on video as well. So if you're listening to the audio, you can check it out on YouTube and kind of see the outline that I've put together. But I start off with why you should think long term instead of short, and then breaking it down into price versus cost. There is a difference, and a lot of people don't actually think about that difference. So the way that I've broken down price and cost is the multiple areas of life that everybody experiences. So we have health, home, education, relationships, and career. There's probably more that you could add into that, but I wanted to start with those because it relates to everybody and it's broken down very easily for you to understand and digest and potentially share with other people. When we get into health, we have exercise. I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions in terms of all these different categories, and this is going to make you think, okay, where in my life could I change my habits or the things that I'm doing in these little sections to potentially think a little bit more long term and get more out of my life? So for health, we have exercise, nutrition, and recovery. So for exercise, the price of exercising or not, they're both free. But what is the long-term cost to your health? Same with nutrition. The price of organic food is more upfront, but what is the long-term cost to your health? What I want you to do is go look up how much insulin costs diabetics every single month. The cost of insulin far outweighs the cost of exercise and organic food over one's lifetime. But when we look at that organic food in the store, the price of it, it tends to hurt. We don't want to spend that money. Ultimately, we're hurting ourselves in the long run, and we end up paying more insurance premiums because we get sick. We end up paying for medications. We're paying for it somewhere. So you might as well pay up front and prevent that. And then ultimately, you're going to live a longer life because you're preventing it from happening, preventing the illness or the sickness from happening, or at least giving yourself a shot. Last thing for health is recovery. The price of preventative health measures is more upfront, yet what is the cost to your long-term health? A lot of people don't invest into massage therapy or sauna or ice bath or float tanks or IVs. They wait till the last minute to do reactive price and cost, rather than thinking the long term of, okay, what can I pay for up front to prevent some of the things that other people are getting because they're thinking more in the short term? What is cheap in the short run? Next is home. What is the price of optimizing your home for low stress, quality energy, and great sleep? This might be more upfront, again, but what is the long-term cost for your well-being? The price of paying somebody to help you out around the house versus spending that time each week over and over and over again, cleaning, mowing the lawn. There is no right way. All I'm doing is asking you the questions that you should be asking yourself of price versus cost, because it's not always the same. The price up front might be higher cost or lower cost in the long run to your health, your wealth, your happiness. And you need to be the one that's deciding that. You can't be letting the world dictate that for you. Next is education. Many people are willingly taking on the price of debt for college, yet refuse the price of books, coaches, consultants to help them improve their lives in the long run. That's crazy to me. They'll pay these astronomical amounts for tuition, yet tell them to invest in a coach that can tell them a specific thing or teach them a specific skill that will help return tenfold, 20-fold, sometimes 100-fold of what it costs them. It baffles me. Why don't we do it? What is the real price that people are paying for college? And what is the real cost of college? That is what people need to start calculating. Relationships, our next one. This is one of my favorites. I love to build deep relationships. I always have. The price of investing deeply into other people, though, is very high. It's energy consuming, time consuming, sometimes money consuming. I don't like to spend a ton of money because I think time is the most valuable thing. Most people only spend on a surface level, though, when it comes to relationships. What is the long term cost of that? Loneliness. They never get that full feeling of being a part of a community. A lot of people struggle with the relationship side of things because it's a give without expectation of get type of thing. And most people can't comprehend that. We're always trying to get, we're always trying to score the good grade, be the one that's getting noticed and acknowledged rather than giving the acknowledgement and helping that other person. So I'm on here trying to teach you that if you want to invest the most into your relationships, first start with how can you give more than you can ever expect to get. The last thing is going to be career. The price of a high salary, stressful job that you don't like versus the cost it will have on your life over the long run. And I ended on this one because this is the one that, I mean, 9 out of 10 people I talk to, this is something that's happening to them, um, including my own family members, friends, myself years ago. Is that job worth it? Is that career worth it? Now, the price is a little bit different in this case because you're actually getting paid rather than paying, it may seem. But what is that salary worth in the long term scheme of your life? Because if you get sick, if you die, is it worth it? I mean, hell no, right? So a lot of people need to be looking at what is the price that I'm willing to pay for X amount of dollars that I'm making? How much time am I willing to invest every week? How much energy? Things of that nature. So, again, this is the conversation around price and cost and short term thinking versus long term thinking. This is a short episode. I really just wanted you to think about these questions that I'm asking because they're vital to your success in the long run. The more that you can question everything that you are doing and why you're doing it, the more success you're going to have because you're going to be the one that's defining why you're doing every little thing that you're doing. I think too many people are robotic with their lives. They don't understand that if they want to become healthy, wealthy, wise, it's all on them. Healthy starts with questioning, are you really investing into your health? If you're not, how can you expect to be healthy? Wealthy, same thing. If you're not investing into learning financials and improving your financial status, how do you expect to be wealthy? And happiness and wisdom. If you're not seeking wisdom, how do you expect to become wise if you're not having experiences? And then happiness, I like to consider, is something that is we do it. It isn't just something that magically appears. We have to move. Happiness is peace in motion. So get moving. Go do the things that you enjoy. And if you don't know what you enjoy yet, go do a bunch of different things and figure out what you don't enjoy and then steer clear of those and then just keep trying new things. If this hit home with you at all, I'd love for you to connect with me. I'm always looking to build off of the ideas that I have. And if you think that this could be helpful for other people, please go share it. As always, I'd love for you to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. That's going to help us get seen by more people. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. This is CJ Finley from the Thrive on Life podcast. Thrive on, y'all.